Well, hello there. Hi, how are you? I got a new microphone. I know I'm feeling very fancy. I'm hoping this works because I'll be honest, this is my second time doing it. And I recorded a video. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty bloody good. And then it had no sound on it. So I was just speaking into the silence. So I'm hoping this is going to work. Look, it's one of those little microphones that you clip on. This is part and parcel of me trying to become a little bit more tech savvy. But you know, with those things, there's always errors along the way. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Welcome. Today as always, I'm in the studio. Come on, let's be honest. But today I'm in the studio to do some making and creating. So today is really about me returning to some works that I created a few weeks ago, and I'm returning with fresh eyes to see how I feel about them. And there's 6 in total, and they're all 30 by 30. So I'm hoping to have these up on my website by the end of the week. And I will normally release newer works, and they're larger, but alongside those, I like to have some smaller works that just make it accessible for people. So if you create really large works, there's some people who have the ability to purchase those, but some of the smaller works sell really well. So that's what I do. So at the moment I have 6, and that'll be all I'm doing between now and the end of the year. So yeah, coming back with new eyes. And I don't know if you do this, but I definitely like to leave it for a while and come back and see how I feel. And it's always really quite eye-opening, literally eye-opening, to see what I think about them. So these ones, at the moment, I'm working with a very, what would I call it? Like kind of earthy tones. So a lot of my work is really to do with my surroundings, my family. We go on a lot of walks, we've got dogs, we bring kids out, and we are very fortunate. We live in a beautiful part of the world. I live in Dublin in Ireland, and it is very green, and we have many beautiful like wooded walks near us and parks as well. We've also got a lot of rain. It's true, we've got a lot of rain. Ireland is very rainy and very damp, and people often say to me, when's the best time to come to visit Ireland? I'm like, well, there's probably a week in and around May sometime, and then maybe 2 weeks somewhere in September. But there's no guarantees. We get a lot of rain, but it does mean that we also get a lot of beautiful, lush, green, beautiful leaves and all of that kind of stuff, trees, everything, which I love. I love being out in nature. It really inspires me. It inspires my work, my creativity. If I'm ever stuck, that's something that I really do. I push into, right, I just need to go out. I need to move, get some fresh air, and just be inspired by my surroundings in nature. So today I am looking at these, and I know immediately that there are 3 that I want to keep. And initially I was thinking some of them, or all of them, I thought I was going to mute them down with different colors, but now I'm thinking I'm going to leave them. This was one of the ones that I thought, I will definitely change this. And now that I'm back to it, I'm like, I will definitely not change this. This part here, I was really questioning when I left. And now I really like this. So I think it's always good to kind of come back to things and see how you feel it. I really like the depth here. I really quite like this now. I think it's something different that I have done. And I just like this sort of yellow ochre here, mixed in with this sort of pink blush up here. So this one I will definitely be leaving as is. The other one that this could possibly be my favorite is this one here. And so I've used a lot of very deep greens here, and I feel like that this really is a very focal point here. I love the colors there, particularly like this organic kind of brush stroke there, and I just like the composition and the coloring on this. As I said, it's probably my favorite. And then this one, I definitely thought I was going to do something with this, but coming back, I see it in a new light, and I really like that. I love the texture on it. Like the texture of the paint here is really beautiful, and I love some of the very blended colors that you can see coming through. The three that I know for sure that I'm going to work on are this one, which I just feel like it's sort of lost its direction a little bit. Don't know what I'll do with it. It's going to be a surprise to you and me, so we'll see. This one, definitely going to change that. Yes, that's lost its way a little bit. Not too sure what to do with that. And this, although I really like the colours in this and quite like the composition, it's just lacking something. So I might add a little bit more collage to that, of which I add in quite a bit of collage into a lot of my works. So that's what today is about. So I'm going to get the paints out. Today is really about just creating in the studio and seeing where it goes. So let's see. So a few years ago, I made the Wonder Cards, and I made them, it was actually lockdown that I made them, and I really wanted something to move me forward, something that was going to help inspire me, move my creativity forward. I am a really firm believer in, well, what am I a firm believer in? I'm a firm believer in words become things. That's what I'm a firm believer in. Words become things, and the things that we talk to ourselves about, you know, become our truths. And what I really wanted to do was kind of move my mindset out of feeling slightly hopeless and not really knowing where my work was going to feeling like I needed to have some kind of direction and feel more grounded in what I was doing and appreciate what I was doing and know that there was abundance in creativity. And so that's what I did. So I'm going to pull a card for you today. If you want to know more about these, there is a link in them down below. But today what I'm going to do is, from these Wonder Cards, I'm going to pull a card for you. And what I normally do is I pull a card and then I keep it with me. Like I put it on my desk, put it on the table, I put one in my bag, put one in my pocket. Sometimes I let the kids, I shouldn't say I ask the kids. It used to be a bigger deal than it is. Now they choose when they go, oh, do I have to? And I'm like, yes, you do. So anyway, yes, it's just by way of encouragement. So I'm going to find one that I think will be nice for us all today and help us stay grounded in our creativity and grounded in who we are. So let's see. Okay, we were speaking about intuition, so I think this might be a nice one. So my work is very intuitive in how I move through colours and through my paintings, and I think this will be a really nice one for us all today. So that is, I wait, listen, and trust my intuition. So that's for you today. So I'm going to leave that out there. And it's just a nice reminder, as I said, a nice grounding, a nice reminder just to hold fast to something. So there we go, that's for you. I'm going to show you my microphone, because I know I'll get questions. People have been asking me, people have been asking me about my setup. And I use an iPhone for all my videos, and I mean, it's adequate for what I need at the moment. So I haven't bought a camera, anything like that. I have bought a tripod, and it did come with a microphone, which was this one. And I just bought it on Amazon, and it's very easy accessible. It actually came with a mic. Hold on, I'll see if I have it here. It actually came with a microphone and a tripod, and it came in this little handy pack. And I want to say it was like 50, 60 euros, which would be the equivalent in dollars, I guess $60 maybe. So it came with the tripod, it came with the microphone, and that has been very sufficient. But I've just gone up a little bit, and this is what I've gotten. So it's these little microphones here, which are handy if you're out and about. So that's really what I wanted, something like that, rather than a microphone like this that sits on your phone. So my current setup is I would put the microphone, plug that into my phone, and it's just on a tripod. So I've switched that over to this one just because I feel like if I'm moving around up here, my camera's down there, it's just easier for me. And so it comes in this little box. And don't ask me any of the technical terms for any of this, but there's a little mechanism. There's another little thing that clicks on to the top up there onto the tripod. And it comes in there, and it comes with this microphone in this nifty little case. And I got this because it was recommended to me as well. So that's why I purchased this one. And again, it's got that little microphone cover for when you're out and about. Comes with the cables. And I'll put a link below. I want to say that this was, I think it was about 220 euros. So in dollars, that's probably similar, maybe to $30. But I'll link that below. But it's very handy. It's very easy. So if you're thinking of YouTube, which you should do, that's a really good way to kind of get started. Or that other little pack that I showed you as well. Usky Vision. And that's really handy to carry around as well. Okay, paints. Let me get the paints. I digress. Okay, so this one we have sap green, and then we have, oh, I hate saying this word, something green. Like, honestly, this is like the inner dyslexic in me, but it's Phthalosian something such. Oh, well, let's just call it lovely green in my case. So put that in, and I know some of you are probably laughing at my pronunciation there, but I don't know how to say it. A little bit of Payne's grey, because sometimes I like that. A little bit. And then a few other greens I'll add. This is Hooker's Green hue. It's definitely easier to say. I quite like actually that colour because it's just so vibrant. I am a huge fan of greens and blues and the magic that they create when they're on the palette. They just look so beautiful and lush to me. And a little bit of white as well, because again, I will just be painting intuitively, and that's a titanium white. Okay, let me get a clean paintbrush. Very well loved paintbrush. Okay, let's see what magic is revealed. Just the vibrancy of the greens I just find so lovely. Okay, and although I love this mark here, I actually don't know where to start on this, but I'm just gonna go and hope for the best. And if it doesn't turn out well, the beauty in painting is that you just paint over. Isn't that right? Sometimes I need a reminder to tell myself, actually, the beauty in painting is a bit like a haircut. If it goes desperately wrong, it grows back. I mean, paint obviously doesn't grow back, but you know, you understand what I mean. That's quite lovely. That colour there. Let's get more of that. So I can already feel like that this is coming together better. those colours. That's beautiful. And sometimes I wish like that I was one of those artists that just made things in batches. But I'm not. I've come to terms with that. It's just the organisation. It probably just doesn't excite me as much as just like making as I go along. That's what I really like. It's kind of like the surprising elements of things. Like where will this end up? What colours will I make out of this, you know? And there's a surrender to it then as well. I mean, I know I don't have to apply those colours down, but there is a surrender in just going, I'm just mixing as I go and we'll see how that lands. And there's no right or wrong. I mean, with art, there is really no right or wrong. Here's a little doggy. Come to say hello. Yeah, this is already feeling better to me. I'm going to add a little bit of dark in there. Kind of deepen concentration here now. Just looking at the piece and wondering where next. Do I put something up there? Will that ruin it? Should I focus on this bit down here? Do I break it up? Would it be nice to do something else? I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to do a lighter colour over that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some of, okay, no, I can't help myself again. I'm just going to do something else. I mean, I just adore painting. It's just one of those things that, honestly, it just brings so much joy. Okay. Seeing what's next. That's lovely. Yeah, nice. No, don't want to do that actually. Okay. I feel like I'm laying the foundations for some marks to go over them then afterwards. Just creating a little bit more depth and layers and interest to the eye. Right, I'm leaving it there. And then I would like to put this over it, but it might. I quite like working like wet on wet with the paints, and it can work beautifully, but you really have no control over it. And so it can work beautifully, but in the same breath, a little bit, you're taking such a risk with it. But then with it, you also get such beautiful blended colours. Which I adore. Oh yeah, that's lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love that. All right, let's get some of that nice blushy. I'm just mixing on this palette here. Get some of that lovely blushy colour. See if we can add that. Oh, actually, I'm going to get some of this lovely Lovely, lovely colour. Pop that down, and you're away in a hack, as they say here. Away in a hack, that's probably a very Irish thing to say. It just means like you're all set. I don't know where that came from, but right. See, this is lovely, but I think it's just too much for there. So I'm sorry, love, but some of you has to just go. But yeah, that's already better. Otherwise, the other thing was just, it was taking over. It was just too, it's too strong for that area. Right, let's keep going with this because I feel like I'm making a little bit of headway with this one now. Right, I'm going to work on this bit here and taper that down because I'm going to get rid of this bit here now, but I like to bring that down a little bit smaller. As you can tell, these are all very, very technical words that I'm using. Oh. Right. I need quite a lot of my paint on my brush in order to do this. Or I might even need to just let it dry. Nope, that's it. That's okay. I'm hesitating as I say that, but it is. And then let's do something there. Ooh, nice bit of texture there, lovely. I love texture in paint, but I don't do it a huge amount. I like it in small amounts, small quantities, I guess. Okay, now if I was to do a line through there, would that just be ridiculous? Or would it actually add a little je ne sais quoi for those francophiles amongst us? If there's anybody French here, let me know. I love France. J'adore. So for the last 3 years, actually, we've gone to France as a family. And it's been amazing because I've been able to paint. My husband can work remotely. And I mean, I can too because I can paint anywhere. So it's been wonderful. Hoping to be able to make that happen again this year. But oh, I just find it such an inspiring place. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. And again, I'll see how that goes. I'll come back to that. And before I do any painting on this one, I'm actually going to potentially add some more collage to it first and see how I feel about that, because I do quite like the colours in that and the composition, so I might just leave that. Bring my trusty little stool over. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. This has been, I guess, quite a bit more about the process of what I do and how I do that, and just, yeah, being here alongside me in the studio, which is fantastic. I think for the moment what I'll do is I'll let those dry and then I'll come back to them and see how I feel. And as I said, sometimes it's just a case of going, yes, they've worked really well, and seeing them later on, I'll see how I feel. They'll stay on the table for quite some time, and then hopefully I'll feel really good about them and I'll say they're done, they're finished. But this one I know I'm definitely going to be adding some more collage to it, but I do quite like the very gentle, subtle tones about that. Anyway, there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. If you you have anything in particular that you would love to see me do on these videos, like in terms of artworks or art, or speaking about the business side of art, or more about my process, please let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts about that. And as I'm making more and more of these kind of videos about the creative process, I would love to know, is there anything particular that you think would work really well as a video on my channel? So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. That's all. Have a wonderful day, and wherever you are in the world, let me know in the comments below. Thank you, creators, and see you soon. Bye.